give you guys a walkthrough of what we do to complete our quilts. So stay tuned and follow along. First order of business we do is obviously we get our completed quilts. We got 4 of them here. And what we do is the next step is I got a template and we are going to affix these cam snaps. So we lay our template on, make dots, poke these through, and these are the stud portions, and then we'll put the male or female on at the next step. All right, now that we have all of the studs in the foot box flap, you have special dies for male and female. We'll be doing the female side first, which is this piece. And we use the cam snap press to go through and press them. So we're affixing the female end to the stud. And as you see, grab one, put it in the machine. Kind of hard to do this with one hand. Line it up in the pivot spot and step on the pedal. That's how it comes out. So we'll knock out all the females and we switch and go to males. All right, now that we are done with the female side, I swap out this die here for the male. So now it's going to accept male ends. Same thing, you just place them up underneath and press them like we did with the last ones. Once I'm doing the males, depending on how many we're doing, right now I'm doing 4 of them, I'm going to start up the heat press, because the heat press has to get up to 315 degrees to do the heat transfer vinyl. So once I'm done with this one here, I'll switch gears here and just turn on the heat press. So this one now has all the snaps on the foot box, as well as the straps if you're going to use pad straps or hook them together. All of the cam snaps are done on this one. The only thing left is put a logo on it. So we'll show you here. All right, while this heat press is heating up, we've got heat transfer vinyl already went through the plotter and did the logo. So what you got to do is you kind of like warm it up, preheat it, just a couple seconds. Lay your heat transfer vinyl on there, and what I've got are just some dental picks. And what this is doing is it's actually heating up the vinyl just a little bit, where it makes it more pliable, so you can go here and weed out all the garbage. And then you pick out the rest of the garbage. And what you're left with is a logo. Now once this thing gets up to temp, we'll place it on the quilt. Alright, this is going to be a trickier part to show you guys, but we've got a dot in the center of the quilt. What we have to do is line this up without getting in the way. And remember that the heat press is 300 degrees, 315. So we just line it up And we can't just press it because it'll melt the fabric. So we use this Teflon sheet as a protectant. And what we're doing is you're preheating it, which removes any type of moisture that would be in the fabric. And it also acts as an iron, irons it out flat. So all I'm doing now is just making sure it's adjusted. I can still see my dot. Take my logo. Place it on there, center it up. Don't forget the Teflon sheet. And it's already set right now for 15 seconds. It only needs 5, but the thing with the heat transfer vinyl is once you heat it up more, it gets more pliable. It melts the glue up, and it soaks into the fabric much easier. So what I do is, even though it only requires 5, I found out that it works best for 15 seconds on this type of fabric, and this is just a microfiber. And what this does is since it's cool, it draws the heat out of the logo. Lastly is I grab it, we pull. Now it's on there and it's affixed. So what I do lastly is grab the Teflon sheet one last time. And what this does is if I pulled that backer off and it peeled up a little edge, what this would do is it fixes it back down. So as you see, that's a done quilt. All it needs to do is be stuffed. All right, we already got the logo on, snaps, all that stuff. Lastly is to put it in a stuff sack. It's not complicated at all. A lot of people like to roll it. Not going to hurt it. The only thing that you don't do is if you're coming back from a hunt, you don't want to leave it compressed in the stuff sack because it is a compression stuff sack. So you just leave it loose. And then when you get home, obviously you can hang it up in the closet because you don't want to compress the synthetic Climate Shield Apex insulation. So all I'm doing is holding the stuff sack, grabbing and stuffing. That's all it is. And then once you get it in there, cinch it up, adjust the compression straps. And now, if you are going to say you get back this weekend, you're going on another trip, the following weekend, you can leave it just like this in the compression sack. It's not going to hurt it for a week, just not extended amount of time. And usually if I'm on the ground, I'll push it down and reef on them to compress it. And just to give you guys a size reference, all of these that we just put together are extra long wides. Extra long, it means that they're 7 foot, and wide is they're 58 inches. You can get it a little bit smaller, just reefing on it. But that's the size that it compresses down to. Probably a volleyball size, not quite basketball. You can stuff in your pack, and what I always do is put my wind burner, some water next to it so it evens it out. Or you don't compress it all the way, you can put it on the top by your top lid or on the bottom. But that is an overview of start to finish on finishing our quilts, not sewing them, but put the snaps on, logo, and stuffing them. So a little bit of insight on what we do here at 6 a.m. So I appreciate it. Thanks.